All right, traders, a very good afternoon to you all. This is Avel from the Tradepsyche, and I welcome you all to the post-market analysis, outlook, and expectations for the market for tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Wednesday, right? And in this video, we'll discuss that how were the markets today, what happened, what did we discuss in our Telegram group, and what discussions we had in our last analysis video yesterday. Right? Did the markets go according to that or not? Right, and post that we'll look at what will be some of the crucial levels for tomorrow for Nifty and Bank Nifty. We'll also analyze at the end of this video the OI data, the change in OI data, and total OI data in order to know that what is the bias in the markets. All right, so let's start the discussion. We'll first go to the Telegram group, but before going to the Telegram group, I'll be leaving the link to my Telegram group in the description box below. We discuss basically in and out everything about Nifty, Bank Nifty, what is going on in the markets, what is the data. If you want live data analysis between the markets, if you are a trader, swing, positional, intraday, whatever kind of trader you are, if you are someone new to the markets and you have zero guidance, do join that group. Right. In each and every video, I try to incorporate that what kind of discussions we have in our this Telegram group. It's not a trade selling group. It's we don't, give trades that buy this, buy that. We give views and we impart knowledge. Right. So let's straight first go to the Telegram group and see that what discussions we had today. Right. And yesterday we discussed that we will have sideways expiry. So we had a sideways expiry today. Right. And I think yesterday night Trump gave a statement that war could end soon. And I think even before that, Gift Nifty was roughly around 200 to 20 points up. But the global market started correcting and the Gifty came around 100 points, 60 points positive only. But after that, he gave the statement that war could end soon. And post that, Gifty just shot 300 points in 15, 20 minutes. And that was actually responsible for a gap up today, which happened. We'll look on the charts. Right, so we discussed that change in OI, major resistance is at 24,000. Major resistance has been added at 24,000. Right. Currently we are at 24. This one, 24,200. Right. Then we mentioned that major support has got added at 23,700. So this was change in OI for today's expiry. The total OI is major resistance now is at 24,500 as of now. Right. So there is a difference between change in OI and total open interest. So change in OI is basically a single data, sing OI data or change in OI, which is responsible for a one single day, which is yesterday. But total open interest imparts a better picture because it is a collaborated data for the whole expiry. So we mentioned that since major resistance at 24,500, we can see a move till that point. So if you see even in this, the biggest red bar was at 24,500. Right. So today, if you see, we had a move till 24,300. Right. FI's index mentioning FIs have again added shorts in the index, keeping the stances bearish. Then we discussed that clients are expecting the negative open and sell on rise markets. FIs are buy on dips, right? And the pros are also expecting buy on dips with small dips in intraday. We can see a sideways to buy on dips market as today is Nifty's expiry. So if you see, technically it was a buy on dips, but it was completely sideways. So if you look on, early time frame. So the first early candlestick, we neither broke its high, we neither broke its low. So it was a bullish to sideways expiry. It was not aggressive bullish. It was not aggressive sideways. So that was our analysis, and then we shared the game plan for Nifty. Shorts will only come below 23,700. No trading range. We mentioned that from 23,700 to 24,250. Why? We mentioned because if you are able to catch any intraday trend, then you are good enough. But in our group, we don't do intraday trading because we don't believe in, one day games, right? So we mentioned that Nifty drops 100 points just after the open, right? And we opened, I think, roughly around 24,300, and we, I think, dropped till 24,200, 180, roughly around some point of that. India VIX is down by 11%, which is really helping us now because we are majorly option sellers, right? Then we mentioned today's Nifty expiry. Also, we have discussed in yesterday's video that we will see a sideways expiry, and we saw a sideways expiry. But we mentioned that scenario looks like that only. The straddle premiums which were 400 till yesterday. If you see, these both were 200, 200 each at yesterday's close, right? So that got dropped as soon as we opened, that got dropped till 200. So that means that just at the open, somebody came and somebody wrote the options, right? The first 15 minutes of why we discussed and call seller equal to put sellers, we can sleep in the market today. We will mostly be sideways today, right? When markets commentary, Nifty went till 250, but we turned around since morning. We are in a small range, not much action as we discussed. Today is going to be sideways expiry. So unless we break 24,000 back again or above 24,300, we ain't gonna see any move, right? Then we mentioned that amazing premium decay has happened. This, that. Then we mentioned that market ending coming. So this was the discussion which we did on intraday basis. Let's and even what happened today in the market, if you see, we opened roughly around 24,300. 24,300 was a good resistance because it was a slightly whole number around level 24,300, right? And the whole day we tried to break 24,300, the day high, twice, but we were not able to achieve it. And why we follow that the first hourly candlestick, we should at least, whenever the market starts, you should at least wait for the first hourly candlestick. Because whenever you wait for the first hourly candlestick, because within the first hour, the bulls, the bears, the big bulls, the big bears, they all fight within each other. So technically, there is huge volatility in the first 1 hour. Let the first 1 hour, uh, you know, pass by in the markets. Let the volatility settle. Mark the high and low of the first hour. In whichever direction the markets break, trade in that direction. This is a very simple strategy you can use to catch early trends in the market. So today, if you see the first early candlesticks high and low, neither was breached. So we did not trade the whole day, right? So this has happened today. Let's start the discussion for tomorrow. All right. If I remove each and every level, so from daily perspective, if you guys remember, we essentially in yesterday's analysis video, we essentially talked about a widening pattern in Nifty. We talked about this, right? And we mentioned that we are in a widening pattern as of now, and we can see a pullback like this, and then we can see a drop like this. So we are on the perfect trajectory as of now, right? And we are seeing there are some gaps on the upside still left. So from above 24,300, we have a gap till I think 24,480. So another 180 points gap we have tomorrow, and we expect that it might again get covered in the gap, because nowadays, if you see technically, the gaps are being covered by gaps only. Today, we if you see, we covered, I mean, we opened gap up of around roughly 300 points, right? But we have covered this gap. What is the lowest point the markets had today? It was 2480, which was roughly prior daily high. So this is a very famous trading concept that, let's suppose this is prior daily high and markets are opening roughly around here. So wait for this retest. This happens 80% percentage of the time. Even if you see today, we opened gap up, and because since it was a gap, it was actually a resistance. We came down, and we came down till what point? Prior daily high. So technically, whatever is the prior daily high or prior daily close, whichever comes first while going down after a gap up, that is technically that forms the base of that forms the support for the day for the markets. And if this also is broken, we can see a trending breakdown in the markets. All right, so keep in mind this point, right? Now, what we can discuss for tomorrow, right? See, if you see from daily perspective, and let's once have a look from weekly perspective also. So this week we went down from weekly 100 EMA, but we are above it as of now. The markets have saved weekly 50 EMA. And if you guys remember, we mentioned that if weekly 50 EMA gets broken down, which got broken down, I think on last Monday, not this Monday, last Monday, and the whole week we closed below it. The target was 100 weekly EMA. If this week's close comes below weekly 100 EMA, which didn't even happen in the fall till 22,000, then I think path for actually 22,000 will be opened up, right? So the closing for this week is also crucial. If this week we close above weekly 100 EMA, then I think we can target a move till 25,000, and then at this point we will again see a continuation, right? But this is slightly long term. Let's have a discussion for tomorrow. All right. So from daily perspective, I think it is a good candlestick closing. We have closed our prior daily high. So short term trend you can say have changed to buy on dips, sideways to buy on dips. But still we have a lot of resistance on the upside. We cannot say that we have come out of the buy on dips, sorry, sell on rise stance, right? So first resistance which is there on the upside is this gap filling level. This gap filling level is 24,450 if you see technically, right? This level. So above today's day high is 24,300. Let's go back to, and from daily perspective, this is a, you can say, piercing pin bar, green pin bar. I would not say this candlestick as an extreme bullish candlestick, but closing is decent. I'll not call this closing as a bearish closing. No, right? So above 24,300 tomorrow, if at all we sustain in on 30 minutes or first hourly basis, the first target will be our daily 5 EMA, which is 24,450, or even this gap covering, right? Above 24,450, you can see 24,500. If at all we tomorrow close about 24,500 on daily basis, expect day after tomorrow 24,750 and 25,000. But 25,000 would be an ideal, and I think you can say a perfect point to short the markets back again, right? And from my perspective, I even have one more zone in my area, in my mind, which is technically this zone. So this zone is roughly of this 24,500 zone, and this was a support for very long time. Markets have breached that. Markets have sustained below it for a couple of days. We will look at the OI data that whether the bears are adding their shorts at these positions or not. But since this was a support, now this has converted into a very big resistance. So technically what happens is, if a support has been hit multiple times and if it gets broken down, so it gets converted into a very good resistance, so that if the markets come back to it, the markets take a good resistance. The price, it takes a good resistance. So now whenever we will come back to this point, this will act as a good resistance for a move like this. So we have to be cautious around this zone whenever we see 24, 450, 500. We have to be very cautious at this zone, right? But if this zone is cleared on the upside, because everything is a probability, and we close about 24,500, then I think path will be cleared for 24,750 and 25,000. We will look that tomorrow. So tomorrow, any longs intraday basis, if at all it has to come, it will come above hourly close above 24,300. Right? That 200 to 50 points move till 24,500, 550, but book that short, because there is a huge resistance. I'll tell you why. Hourly 50 EMA we have, which is an apt point to turn around for the markets to turn around. We have daily 5 EM at this level. We have a huge support. We had a huge support at this point of time, which got broken down, and now which is a resistance. So be very careful whenever the markets are reaching, even if you are riding. See, personally, when we did that weekly analysis video, if you remember, I mentioned clearly, specifically, that do not enter into longs unless we close a daily candlestick about 25,000. But still, if someone has to go long on intraday basis, if they don't have much patience, try to be very cautious, trail your stop loss very tightly. That's all what I'm gonna say to you. Shorts for tomorrow can come below 2490, which was today's day low. Below 2490, we can see 24,000, and below 24,000, we can see 23,700. Below 23,700, again a bloodbath. Let's go to hourly time frame. And as of now, technically, even if you see, we cannot say that the bottom has formed. No, bottom has not formed. How bottoms are formed? When we see a big bear rallies, we see this move, we see this move. Then, if at all markets are trying to make a pattern like this, or maybe markets come like this, then markets do or go up and down and form a good base, then slowly and steadily markets form a base like this. This is how bottom is formed. So none of that has happened in the price action as of now. If the Nifty want to make a base, markets have went up, it should come down, it should make a base here, then again it should start to go up. Or even the markets can try a double W base double bottom recovery. So at least wait for this price action to happen if you want that the markets, if you want to know that markets have made a base or not, or we have bottomed out or not. Okay. We have also this supportive trend line, which if gets broken down on the downside, we might tomorrow see a bearish trend if at all it gets broken down on the downside. Right? Levels I have given you. I hope you should be clear. No trading range will be from 2490 to 24300 to 90 points range. Sorry, 210 points range. Do not trade this range because today, if you see, the markets have essentially encapsulated in this range only, and it is possible that tomorrow also markets might stay in this range only, right, traders? As of now, today's closing is decent, today's closing is healthy, but we have to have a look at how the prices are reacting around 24,500, 24,550 zone. All right, traders, let's go to Bank Nifty. And on the basis of opening, if at all we open a huge gap up, we will be opening at a good resistance. There is a possibility that again we might do the same stuff, that if at all we are opening here, we might take a resistance, come back to the prior daily high, then make a support and then go up. If at all we open a huge gap down, then I think this trend will be broken down. I think if at all we are opening here roughly a small pullback, and then markets will continue to move down. All right, Nifty Bank has today recovered in good pace, and still for Nifty Bank, I think the gap remains on the upside, and I expect that another day of gap covering should come like this. And technically, this was a very good support. Again, this has got created into a big resistance. So technically, markets should do something like this. But if markets don't respect this level and markets keep shooting on the upside, wait for the breakout, retest, and long on this retest. All right. Or else, what the markets can do tomorrow is, if the markets are doing this and they are trying to give you a pullback, we might do a price action like this. But this is a very, this is something which can happen in the next week. So we have to at least wait for it. So for tomorrow in Bank Nifty, if at all we start to go above 57,100, target for 57,500, 58,000. But again, I'm saying 57,700, 800 is still a very good resistance. Don't try to be over smart in the market. If at all you see markets hitting 57,700, 800, and if you see a negative price action forming, try to short the market. Don't try to be, the odd one out, that everybody is short and I'll go long in the market. No, it might work 10%, 20% of the times for you, but it will not work for you in the longer run. All right. So Bank Nifty still, clearly we are in the sell and rise trend. This was a very sharp sell-off in Bank Nifty. It was roughly 10% correction in Bank Nifty. So if something is correcting 10%, at least it has, uh, you know, it has to retrace up by 2 to 3%, and that is a healthy retracement, right? So we can short Bank Nifty below 56,400, below 56,400, same 56,000 and 55,500. But if at all we break 55,000 also, then I think 54,000 and 53,000 can be easily achieved. Right? On the basis of opening, same strategy. If at all you are opening a big gap up, we will open around a good resistance. There are chances that we might complete the gap by going down. We might form a base at prior daily high and then we start to go up. And if at all we are opening a big gap down, I think the trend will be reversed on the downside again. After a small pullback, you can short the market again. Bank Nifty. Right, traders? Getting my point? Apart from that, today India VIX has declined by 20%, which is a massive, massive reduction. All right. So I think this is something which we did, I think, 3 days back also. Then after that for 2 days we went up. So unless we break below in India VIX we break below 17, I don't think so that markets will factor out the fear. Right. Let's discuss the option chain. So this is 10th March, 17th March. We still have very good premiums. We have straddle at the money 500 points premium. So there is a possibility that we might not do anything this entire week. Right. So what is the range in this week? If at all you guys go to Bank Nifty, oh sorry, Nifty. So I think still the big players would be interested since today's expiry has happened. The big players will be interested in keeping the market sideways because they want to eat the premium. Simple as that, right? So for today, change in OI is 1.2 CR addition of longs and only uh, 1 CR addition of shorts. So data has not become so aggressive as of now, but there are slightly more number of longs with a good support at 24,200, right? And a decent resistance at 24,300. For Bank Nifty, double the number of longs have been added today. So that is decent, and that's what we are anticipating. And still, on the total open interest side, we have 37 lakhs of longs and only 30 lakh of shorts, right? So data, from my perspective, is not bearish today. I cannot say we cannot anticipate, we cannot say that this is a bullish data, but the data is not bearish. The data is neutral from my perspective. And that's what I think option sellers will be playing for because the premiums are very expensive. They will play a neutral stance. Unless something, from global perspective, if it comes, then I think situation would be slightly different. But if we remain peaceful in the Middle East, I think slowly and steadily they will try to bring the VIX down and they will try to decay the premium. And today, such beautiful premium decay has happened, I cannot tell you. Because VIX declined by 20%. That is a major reason for premium decay, right? And as sellers, since because we are selling in the market, it is highly beneficial for us, right? So this was the analysis for tomorrow, and what else? Nothing, right? I hope you have got a good understanding that how can you trade the markets for tomorrow. Uh, if you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section. If you want any information on the Telegram group, let me know in the comment section below. Stay safe in the market. Good afternoon.